A Hand to a Stranger. Written by Botgal and read by Sean Spencer and my partner, the jelly bean at the bottom of the can.
Hello.
Joey patted Mononoke on the head as she watched the deer cat lapping water from the stream. No matter what the Lucis book said about deer cats being capable of running for long periods without rest, she felt bad about the idea of pushing the poor creature so far. So of course they took periodic rests for Mononoke to take a break from carrying them. She patted him gently on the head and looked over to where Xefros was tending to Trito. The giant sloth Lucis was sitting back on his haunches on the hoverpad, having drunk his fill. From a bit further down the river, she spotted Xefros coming over to them, holding a large tree branch full of fresh, crisp leaves. He offered the tree limb up to his Lucis, and Trito regarded him in return. Then in one long, slow motion, he reached down and took it from his charge, proceeding to slowly clean the branch of leaves in a series of bites. It was peaceful in the forest, at least.
Hey!
Both Joey and Xefros snapped to look to their left as someone yelled from that way. Quickly, Joey pulled the hood up over her head, adjusting the fake horns, and put a hand on Mononoke's side. The deer cat lowering his head and growling faintly. The foliage rustled and thrashed about until at last someone burst on through. It was a troll girl that looked to be about half their age. Who knew how you told someone age on this planet, really? She was about their size, though. She saw the two of them and looked relieved.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought I saw someone over here, and you're both lowbloods. I'm saved.
Both Joey and Xefros glanced at each other with confusion, then back to her.
Did you need something?
Xefros asked, hesitantly. He noted after a quick glance that the girl appeared to be a bronze blood, like Damek, only her sign was shaped into more of a triangle with two squiggly sides, and her horns curved down against her head and had a wavy shape like her sign.
Yes, please. I need help. I was in here to gather a fruit with my Lucis, but when I went to climb one, it fell, and it landed on her. I don't care what it'll take, but you have to help me. Please, I'll do anything.
Xefros looked at the girl hesitantly, unsure of how to respond.
I don't really know if we can.
Of course we can help. He gave Joey a despairing look as she stepped up, looking determined and standing tall. If there was an animal in need, she intended to help it, no matter what the situation, as he had unfortunately discovered during their travels together. The troll girl sighed with absolute relief.
Oh, thank you so much. She's over this way.
Lead the way! The two of them ran off through the foliage, and Xefros stared at them nervously. He was hesitant to follow, but after he saw Damek's Lucis had left the stream and was following them, he sighed and ran to the river, getting the control of the hoverpad, making it to bring Trito along with them. By the time he caught up to them, Joey was already hard at work on the problem. As it was, the fallen tree had landed atop the Lucis in question, but had been stopped from outright crushing it thanks to a few rocks that had propped it up a bit. From Joey's perspective, it looked like some sort of badger-like creature, only it had ears like a bunny. She placed a hand against the tree thoughtfully. Maybe we could try lifting it. Then your Lucis could just crawl out.
Maybe. I tried lifting before, but I'm not that strong. Maybe with the three of us we could do it.
The girl nodded. She and Joey both got into position at a place where the tree was at an upward angle from the ground, putting their arms up against it. Xefros, come on! We need all the help we can get! Joey called out to him. Xefros groaned unhappily and made his way over to them, and he wedged himself between them so that his back was pressed squarely to the trunk while they were on either side. Okay, everybody ready? 1, 2, heave! The three children grunted and strained against the massive hunk of once standing wood, strain showing on their faces. Joey felt a spot of hope where she finally felt it shift a bit higher and then higher. But then Xefros collapsed to his knees with a gasp, and the tree went right back to where it had been before. Well then, if he was the one doing most of the heavy lifting, that made her feel incredibly ineffectual. It also slightly impressed that he could move the tree that much when she and the troll girl could hardly budge it. He wasn't kidding about being pretty strong. Okay, so that didn't work. Joey sighed as she rubbed her hands. Thanks for trying, Xefros, she added quickly. They didn't need him getting pessimistic at the moment, and he did do a good job. He shot her a shaky smile, and Joey hummed thoughtfully. Alright, it's no worries. We can still do this, just need to think. But what do I have that could help us here? Buyers? No, not even with the strength of his tiny but mighty bird wings could that succeed. Spice mix might make the tree taste good, but they weren't termites, and the tree wasn't lunch. Doubtful the batteries could charge anything to help him here. Maybe the pogs. No! Come on, Joey, think. What do I have to do to help that poor creature? She scanned the clearing, looking around at those present as if scanning their faces for ideas. Then it was like a light bulb went off over her head. Maybe nothing she had could help them out, but maybe... Xefros! She pointed out at Xefros suddenly, who jumped when she shouted his name. You have your treats, right? Give me one. His expression told her that he was utterly befuddled by the demand, but her desire to help the Lucis told her she didn't care at the moment. Come on, hurry!
Okay,
he said, hesitantly. He dug around until he extracted one of his sloth treats, and Joey snatched it out of his hand. Hey, Treeto, over here, come on, boy! Both trolls looked at her like she was insane for calling to the sloth Lucis like that, but she didn't care. Treeto slowly turned his head to face her, blinking sluggishly until it saw the treat in her hand. With just as much, or as little speed as he had turned, he lumbered down off the hoverpad, going towards Joey. You want it? You want it? Well, go get it! She turned and tossed the sloth treat so that it tumbled across the ground and rolled neatly under the tree with a trapped Lucis. Ever so dowdy, Treeto lumbered on over to the tree, sniffing at it curiously and tilting his head. Then, as if making a final decision, he plopped himself onto his hind legs and hefted the big tree as if it weighed no more than a twig, proceeding after that point to drop it a short ways away and get the treat he had been aiming for.
Wow, your Lucis is strong,
the troll girl murmured as she went to check on her own Lucis.
He is,
Xefros agreed. He wasn't as stunned as the girl or Joey. He knew his Lucis' strengths already, hence why he'd stored those sloth treats in a safe back at his hive. Joey followed the girl and knelt down beside the badger bunny Lucis, carefully feeling it over and looking for any injuries. Well, overall I think you were really lucky. Joey finally smiled at her. Her leg is sprained, but other than that, nothing broken and just a bunch of bruises. I just need to give her a splint and she'll pull through no problem. The girl sighed with what must have been a massive amount of relief, and Joey pulled out her veterinary kit to get to work. Just give me a few and she'll be right as rain. At once, Joey started to get to work on the Lucis, making soothing shushing sounds and interspersing pets in between treatment with what she could find in the bag. Xefros, for his part, didn't really know what to do with himself while Joey worked, and ended up drifting back over towards his own Lucis, whom he helped guide back up to the hoverpad once he was done eating his treat. The girl followed along with him, to his surprise, and shuffled her feet as she stood near him.
She's pretty nice.
Xefros looked at the stranger with surprise when she finally piped up after being mostly silent for the majority of time that she'd been standing near him.
You too close?
Xefros didn't really know what to say, given that honestly he and Joey had not met long ago, so he made mostly a non-committal noise.
I mean, if you aren't and you don't plan on it, she's pretty cute.
Xefros froze up like a water droplet in a freezer and looked at the girl who was still shuffling, only now her hands were out in front of her.
So, is this sort of a...
She made two V's with her fingers and pressed them together to make a familiar diamond shape.
That kind of deal for you two? Or are you more into...
Another motion with two fingers curving to meet together like long-necked feather beasts to form a heart shape.
Oh, no, I mean, that's not... We're really not.
Xefros' whole face filled up with color as he began to clumsily stumble over his own tongue.
It's just, she and we met not long ago too, and she's really nice, but I don't know how she thinks of me, and, well, I don't know.
He placed his hand on Treeto's side, as if feeling the fur of his Lucis would provide any sort of comfort. The girl smirked and shrugged.
Well, guess that's too bad. She really is pretty cute, but you guys seem like you're on your way somewhere anyway.
She nudged him in the side with her elbow, smiling.
I'd get to deciding pretty quick what you're looking for, otherwise someone else might find another half of their diamond or heart, if you get me.
Hey! Joey called over to the two of them, hauling the badger bunny Lucis in her arms. Your Lucis is all patched up now.
I don't know how I could ever repay you.
The girl sighed with relief. She went over and took her Lucis from Joey. Xefros hung back as the two started chatting a bit, letting out a sigh, ruminating quietly over what the girl had said and the heavy sort of feeling it left in his chest when she'd said it.